am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys are going to be recapping last night's matchup between the Toronto Raptors and Philadelphia 76ers. Final score ended up being 114 to 109 for the Philadelphia 76ers, dropping the Raptors to 14 and 17 on their season, you guys. Philadelphia improves to 18 and 16 on their season. Right, real quick before we start breaking down this game from last night, if you guys can go ahead and like this video. If you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. We're getting a lot of support on the channel lately, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start breaking down last night's game. Tough go for the Raptors. I thought we had a good opportunity to win the game there at the end. Obviously fell just short of the comeback victory versus the Sixers last night, you guys. Good effort, good fight all around from the squad. I can't complain about that aspect of it. A little bit unfortunate we allowed them to go on that run at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I believe we were down, I think we were down 4 or 5 points at the end of the third quarter there. And then the Sixers go on a bit of a run the first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter, getting a 12-point lead on us. We were able to crawl back into it there, get it close once again, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to be able to seal the deal at the end of the game there. Little bit unfortunate, few mistakes along the way that cost us. I feel like this was a game that we could have won for sure if we got a little bit better performances from a few guys. There's a couple guys that just did not show up in this game. So bad shot taking decisions from Gary Trent Jr. He was just bricking things up from all over the place in last night's game, you guys. Love his confidence, but at the end of the day, would like to see him take a little bit better quality shots in certain situations throughout the game. I guess we'll start off, you guys, with some of the team stats here. Raptors ended up shooting 43% field goal percentage last night, 36% from three-point land, 81% from the free throw line. Ended up pulling down 43 rebounds in the game, only turned the ball over 9 times, which is quite impressive, to be honest with you, having under 10 turnovers. When you got a bunch of guys playing on 10-day contracts, you're missing a lot of guys due to protocols right now. So that's an impressive stat line in my opinion. Obviously, it's pretty good that we out-rebounded the Sixers as well with Joel Embiid at the helm there at center. 43 to 42. They only had 42 boards, the Sixers did. They had 7 turnovers, though, so they did a great job of not turning the ball over as well. And they did shoot 84% from the free throw line, and then 46% from three-point land and 44% field goal percentage for the night for the Sixers. The free throws is what really killed us there. I think we had 22 free throws total in the game. I believe they had 38 or 39 free throws, so almost doubled us up in the free throw department. Pretty classic. We're used to that. With the way the refs ref these games lately, especially with the Toronto Raptors. Not even lately, it's just how they've always refed against the Raptors. They always call extra fouls on us for pretty well no damn reason. We're used to it though. No excuses there. Still had an opportunity to win the game. DJ Wilson, you guys, looks absolutely outstanding. This guy's on his 10-day contract there. Wasn't able to play in the first half due to protocols because he was coming in late off a flight from Cleveland. So he was only able to play in the second half of that game. But man, if we could have had that guy for the entirety of the game, I think we might have been able to win last night. I mean, he was just doing everything correct on the floor, man. Just a real smart guy. You could tell his smarts on the floor, his basketball IQ's at a high level. He's got that patience and that poise out on the floor. He's not making stupid mistakes out there. He's got a pretty good shot. He's really nice from the free throw line. I was impressed with all the free throws that he was hitting last night. I think he went 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Ended up finishing off the night with 9 points and 6 rebounds, and only played 13 minutes due to the fact that he wasn't able to get out there in the first half of the game because he was going through some sort of protocols, I guess, coming into the country. So yeah, man, I think if he would have been able to get more minutes, I think that might have been the deciding factor in this game. Because he's looking real good, man. I'm hoping the Toronto Raptors end up signing this guy for the rest of the season, especially with the struggles that we're dealing with on our bench unit right now. We could desperately use this guy coming off the bench, man, because we need some sort of scoring output, and some capability coming off the bench. This guy's just got a nose for the ball where it's going to come off of the rim for the rebound, making the right plays. One thing that really impressed me with this guy, one of the possessions in the fourth quarter, I believe it was, Malachi Flynn was coming down with the basketball. He had Pascal down in the post. He was asking for the ball, and Malachi's just kind of dribbling, trying to break his defender down, not even realizing that Pascal's asking for the ball in the corner in the post. And then DJ Wilson he's going to go, Malachi Flynn was going to go and pass the ball over to DJ, and DJ says no, and he points over to the corner to Pascal and says, look, Pascal's calling for it, get it to Pascal in the corner. So just that heady, it's almost like a veteran presence out on the floor, even though the guy's on a 10-day contract, just having the mindfulness to realize the situation on the floor, see that the best player on the court in Pascal is asking for the ball in the post. He's got a mismatch on the post play there, and he basically just pointed to the corner, got Malachi Flynn to kick it down there. It's just those little heady, smart plays like that, understanding where everyone is on the court, understanding the situation where the ball needs to go. I just really like this guy's game, man. I think he's a really smart guy. I think his basketball IQ's high. And like I said, he's got that patience of like a veteran presence out there already, and even though he's on his 10-day contract. So I'd love to see this guy get a contract for the rest of the season, especially when you got guys like Svi, who's really not doing a lot for you. Same thing with Malachi Flynn, had an atrocious game. This was supposed to be a game for Malachi Flynn to really step up and show what he's capable of to this Toronto Raptors team, especially with kind of a cold start to his season. Really has not progressed this year. He's kind of regressed, if anything, because he had a pretty promising rookie season last year. Obviously, dealing with all the protocols we were last year, he got a lot of starting minutes in the middle of the season last year. I thought he had a way better season last year. He's looked like a shell of himself this year so far. Ended up finishing last night's game with 6 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists. I think he played around 30-some minutes. Shot 2 of 12 from the field, just an atrocious shooting percentage as well. And only 3 assists for your point guard, when he's shooting like shit. It's just not acceptable. The guy's got to be more of a playmaker out there instead of just looking for a shot all the time, because that's what we need. We need someone who's going to be a floor general to be able to run that second unit, and Malachi Flynn's just too worried about getting a shot in. And especially when it's not going down, it's just hurting the team. It's hurting the flow of the offense. So that was a disappointment, seeing him last night shooting 2 of 12. Not really making a big-time impact. I was really looking forward to see if Malachi Flynn could have a big game for us. This was a huge opportunity for him to step up with so many guys in protocols right now, and he just failed to do so, unfortunately. Boucher had an outstanding game for us, you guys. Nice to see him have a breakout game. Probably I would say it's his first big-time breakout game of the season. He had a couple games like this last year. He was definitely a lot more consistent player last year. This is, I'm not expecting to see Boucher go for a 20-20 game every time. He had 28 points, 19 rebounds, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Like I said, you can't expect the guy to have a 20-20 game every night, but if he could have like 15 points, 10 boards, I think that guy could be averaging that for us, no problem. So he needs to step it up a little bit and just be more consistent with that. Played great last night. Really dominated for us, was hitting some 3-point shots, shot 10 of 14 from the field. And that's exactly what you want to see, especially when we're missing so many guys. We needed somebody to step up. So credit to Boucher for stepping up and having a big game last night, even though it fell by the wayside in an unfortunate loss to the Sixers. Gary Trent Jr., you guys as well, made a couple big buckets late in the game. But that was about it for that guy, man. He was just bricking shots left, right, and center. In last night's matchup, ended up finishing the night with 19 points, 1 rebound, 7 assists, and 2 steals. So I like the assist totals. I like to see that he was moving the rock a little bit there, but the shots were just not falling for him last night, and he was bricking up just terrible, terrible shot opportunities last night, you guys. Like I said, 6 of 24 from the field, not a very good shooting percentage. And a lot of those were contested 3 balls or like turnaround fading jumpers from the mid-range. He wasn't getting himself a lot of easy looks last night, wasn't taking the easy looks. He was really forcing himself into some bad shot opportunities, which ended up costing us big time, especially at the start of that fourth quarter, when we were just bricking shots left, right, and center for the first 4 or 5 minutes of that fourth quarter. When we could have just, maybe got a little extra ball movement going on instead of playing so much iso ball or a one pass and then shoot from a long range 3. So that I would like to see Gary Trent improve on a little bit, is just the quality of the shots he's taken. We all know that he can bang down a lot of, a lot of shots and a lot of high difficulty shots he can make for you in key situations throughout the game. But at the end of the day, you don't need to be taking 24 shots when, he probably only took 5 or 6, high quality, high percentage shots throughout that game. A lot of those shots he was taking were not high quality opportunities. So we'd just like to see his decision making improve a little bit in that aspect. Obviously, he probably felt a little more weight on his shoulders, a little more pressure to, come out and have a great game because we were missing so many guys. I just thought he could have found a little bit better shot quality throughout the game there. Would have helped us a lot in the long run. Pascal Siakam, you guys, 11 to 21 from the field. He had a nice, efficient night. Looked real good out there. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Doing everything for you, playing like the leader that we need him to be. Like I said, him and Boucher played outstanding. Those were the 2 best players on our team. DJ Wilson did phenomenal coming off the bench. Yuta had not a bad performance. 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 4 of 6 from the field. Obviously, was a little bit banged up there. I believe it was in the second or the third quarter when he turned his ankle over a little bit there, ended up coming back into the game later on. Thankfully, it wasn't too serious of an injury. The way he was limping off of the court in that when that injury happened, I was a little bit nervous anyways, thinking that it might be a serious injury. Thankfully, it wasn't too serious as he was back out on the court not long after that. But yeah, you guys just need a little bit more from some of the role players on the team. Like I said, Svi has not been very good lately, even though he had a couple big three-pointers during that game there. He still only finished the night with 9 points and 3 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field. Played 29 minutes. That was the biggest shock to me, is the fact that Svi, who's more of a veteran guy, more of a consistent role player within the team, ended up having 30 minutes, 29 minutes total out on the floor, and only finished with 9 points and 3 rebounds. And then you got a guy, or 9 points and 3 assists, or he never had any rebounds. It was 3 assists, not rebounds, my bad. And then you have a guy like DJ Wilson coming in there and only plays 13 minutes, going through protocols in the first half, doesn't even get to play in the first half, and then comes out and gets you 9 points and 6 rebounds in fucking 13 minutes. When you have your other big-time bench players, Svi, only getting you 9 points and 3 assists in 30 minutes. You just need a little more from those guys. Same with Flynn, right? Flynn played like over 30 minutes, 6 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists. DJ Wilson outplayed that guy in his 13 minutes. I mean, that just can't be happening. You got a guy on a 10-day contract outplaying your regular role players. So those guys got to step up and figure some things out there, in my opinion. Really, really hope we sign DJ Wilson to a contract for the rest of the season. This dude's just doing all the little things right, and which makes the big difference. I think he can be a staple on that bench unit for us going forward here. So I really hope he gets an opportunity to stick with the team for the rest of the season. I think we might have found a hidden gem in this guy right here. So we'll have to see what happens, you guys. We'll go through some of the player stats real quick, too, for the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid had a phenomenal game, 36 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Along with Tobias Harris, who had a phenomenal game for them as well. Triple-double with 19 points, 12 boards, and 10 assists. Niang coming off the bench gave you 19 points. Korkmaz gave you 10 off the bench. Hit a couple clutch 3 balls and a nice floater in the lane on us there. During that game, Curry had 12 for you with 4 boards and 5 assists. Thibault pitched in with 7 points. Maxey had a quiet game. He only had 5 points, 2 boards, and 1 assist. So overall, we did a pretty nice job holding them down. Like I said, we out-rebounded them by 1. We only had 9 turnovers in the game. It was there for the taking, man. We had it there for the taking. Like I said, I feel like if we would have been able to keep it a little bit closer at the start of that fourth quarter, because like I said, I think it was a 4 or 5 point game when we were going into the start of the fourth there, and then they pushed it up to a 12-point game when we were just bricking all those 3-point shots and not really, creating any good offense when we were going for offensive possessions. So I feel like if we could have cleaned that up a little bit, have a couple more guys, perform a little better like Malachi Flynn and Svi, Trent Jr. just taking a little better shot quality, this could have been a victory for the Toronto Raptors for sure. But nonetheless, you guys, I love the fight of the team. That's all you can really ask. It's not like we were a super healthy unit out there. We're still missing a ton of players to protocol right now. Obviously, we got a couple days rest now. I believe we play the Clippers coming up on Friday, so we got 2 days off here. Hopefully, we get a bunch more guys back from protocols before Friday's matchup, and try and get back on a little bit of a win streak here, because we're going to need to put together some wins here if we want to keep in this race. Obviously, being 14-17 now, the last thing you want to do is drop a couple more games and fall 4 or 5 games below 500. So fingers crossed that the boys can get her done here coming up against the Clippers on Friday. That pretty well wraps her up for this video, you guys. We'd love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. How do you think the Toronto Raptors fared last night? What do you think we need to improve on to close out games like that where we got a good opportunity to take home the victory at the end of the game? We'd love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. And thanks again, you guys, for watching this video. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports.